Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another interesting episode where I review communist made Romanian fountain pens from the 70s and the 80s. If you watch my channel, you probably saw the review of this miniature model, Flaro Pescaruș, a quite small fountain pen intended for the school market. This time, I have an interesting model which was, as you see, made in the same small dimensions, quite accessible and quite affordable for the school children. I present to you the Flaro in Romanian Pionier. Let me zoom on it. You can see thermically imprinted Flaro Pionier. I don't know if it's the right translation if I call it FLARO Pioneer, because in communist times, Pionier was an organization for school children. I'm not so sure, I don't know much about the history of the pioneers, but I think that they were school children in the first grade of school. So when you started school, you were part of this organization. You had your own uniform, and I believe that you have a scarf, a red scarf that you were very proud of. I was born in 1983, so when I started school, the communist regime was gone, and also this organization was gone. But as a name reference, you must know that the pioneers were a party, let's say, organization for young children. You can see this simple fountain pen. It's made out of injected plastic. It has a small dimension. And as a matter of fact, I have here a Pelican Souverain M800. So you can see that the giant Pelican is quite a big giant when you put it side by side with this Flaro Pioneer or Flaro Pionier. From now on, I will call it Flaro Pionier and not Pioneer. Basically, I'm not so sure where the name of the organization comes from. Maybe, yes, because they were pioneers in developing the future of the country. Let's say they were the next generation. So, quite a practical fountain pen made out of plastic. And you can see a large generous ink window. You can see a small cap fitted with silver colored trims. Unfortunately, this silver or nickel chroming has faded away. So again, an affordable school fountain pen that wasn't built to last over a large period of time, but it was just a utilitarian product for school children. The cap interesting unscrews. I will put the cap here, and it reveals this small grip section and the steel gold-plated nib, and we have an imprint Flaro. It appears that the feed is made out of ebonite. Now, guys, the most interesting part of this fountain pen, it's its filling mechanism. So we have here a silicone sac, and if you watch carefully, inside we have a tube, a small tube that has the role to bring the ink in this small reservoir, all transparent, so quite interesting. We will see about that when we will do the writing sample. So quite a simple basics. Practically the body is the same dimension as the cap, so the same length. So it's quite a small but interesting fountain pen. Yes, this is part of the recent collection that I bought from a collector, and he had it in this version, the simple black version. It appears to be the most common version of this fountain pen, but it also has the same fountain pen In the blue version, you can see FLARO Pionier. Let me see now how the nib looks. Yes, we have also a gold-plated nib. Let me see the imprints of on it. We have FLARO 41F. So 41F, I believe that is the type of nib. It has a little bit of uh, definitely. I don't think it is iridium tipped. It is just a simple steel nib with this bulb at the end of it to make it more resistant. Another ebonite feed, another tube that brings the ink, and if we unscrew the body, we see the same type of silicone transparent sac that you squeeze it and it brings the ink. Okay, let me put it back. So this is in this wonderful dark blue. And now I have also in, I don't know how to call this color. I think it's a very intense green with signs of gray. We have, oh, okay, we have a breathing hole here. This is the first time I noticed that. I didn't test how springy the clip is, but it's a quite springy and useful clip. It is all made out of metal. Again, let me see, FLARO Pioneer or FLARO Pionier, and this time another color of the sac. It appears that this is an NOS model. I don't think it was ever inked, or maybe it was inked with red color. I'm not so sure. Let me show you also the beautiful nib. And this is, guys, a very special nib. So we have iridium point, but if you see that logo, it is a Degussa nib. So you must know that Degussa is quite a famous German nib manufacturer. They made steel and gold nibs, but they were renowned for their quality. So the beautiful Degussa nib. This is a steel nib, gold-plated nib. And just judging by the way it looks, I think this is an NOS model, guys. So a wonderful model that I was fortunate to bring into my collection when I bought that large FLARO collection. You see the first fountain pen. So FLARO Pionier. But sometimes in the late 70s, it appeared this model. So guys, another FLARO. This model lacks the clip, but I also have one with the clip. So you can see, let me take this one with the clip. We can see different changes. The clip is practical the same, but the ending you can see from a pointy ending similar to the Parker 51, of course, not the jewel, but the shape. It was replaced by this flat ending, and this is a theme that repeats in the design. So another flat ending in comparison with this torpedoes or cigar-shaped ending of the original model. Yes, it is. I'm not so sure. You can call it a little bit slimmer, but I think they are in the same dimensions. I was just looking to measure them. Of course, yes, this is longer, the FLARO 70. Let me see, side by side. And I will take advantage of this comparison to leave the dimensions of the fountain pens. So I will leave the dimensions of the Pionier and the Pionier 70 because, yes, this is the term that FLARO used. So let me bring them in the same shot. So here we have FLARO Pionier and here we have FLARO Notice the different words. So Flaro written in italic here and simple here. Flaro Pionier 70. Okay, let's continue our comparison. Yes, also the 70 model unscrews. It has a screwed in cap. And the main difference between the two models is that the classic Flaro Pionier had an open nib, and this has let's call it also an open but a semi-hooded nib. And I want to show you guys. I hope that the lighting will allow us. So interesting, we have Flaro and RPR. So RPR means the Popular Republic of Romania sau Republica Populară Română, RPR. Of course, even the Ebonite feed, I believe it's different in a way. It's smaller, and you can see the cut here at the grip section is quite different. So the ending of the grip section, they maintain the screwed in cap. I think it is the same ink window, yes. And now let me see. So first of all, I will unscrew this one, and after I will unscrew the other one. I want to see if they made some modification to the filling mechanism. And it appears that we have practically the same type of filling mechanism. So basically, it was a change. You can see we have a larger grip section. Maybe someone complained that they, even with the small fingers, they don't have lots of grip, so they added a little bit of material to the grip position. So these are the main changes between those two models. So this one, yes, it's Flaro 70. And the other one is the original Flaro Pionier. I have two more models of the Flaro 70. You notice them, they are quite nice. The main problem of those pens is the trims that have some imperfections to them. And why not? Let me show you the Flaro Sibiu or Flaro Pescaruș, and you can see that the initial Flaro Pionier was a little bit smaller. Let me compare it with the Flaro 70. Yes, with the Flaro 70 we have approximately the same dimensions, but the Flaro 70 is a little bit longer with 1 or 2 millimeters from Flaro Pescaruș. Of course, this is a piston filler. I've already shown you this fountain pen, and I think I will leave a link, and also at the end of the video you can go directly to this beauty and see its review. This is the first variant and this is the second variant of the same model, Flaro Pescaruș. So guys, what can I tell you? Another nice looking fountain pen, a small fountain pen designed by Flaro for the growing school demand. You must know, in Romania of the 70s and in the 1980s, you didn't have much choices when you choose your writing instrument, your fountain pen. So there were these models made in Romania. There were also some models imported from China, the famous copies of the Parker 51 and Parker 61. And they were renowned, the Chinese fountain pens, for having a so-called gold nib. But in fact, not all of them had the gold nib. Just a small number had fitted a 12 karat gold nib. And in fact, the other ones were just simply gold plated. But as I told you, you didn't have much choice. You had to choose from a Romanian made fountain pen or a Chinese made fountain pen with the famous aromatic filling mechanism. You can see that the Romanian products had other types of interesting filling methods. And by the way, guys, I will show you how this works, and I hope I will do a great job because it's the first time that I use a FLARO Pionier. And I'm not so sure if that sac will create the enough vacuum to draw the ink from the bottle. It will be a nice example. And why not, guys? I will show them all of them to you. Maybe I won't fill them all, especially the NOS models, but I will certainly dip them in ink for you to have an idea about the difference of the nibs. And yes, a nib makes a great difference to a fountain pen. So I already left you the dimensions of our fountain pens on the screen. It is time to retire the Flaro Pescarouche, Flaro Seagull. And I thought to myself that it would be proper to start with the classic ones. And after that, we will move on to the next variant, the Pioneer 70 fountain pen. Okay, for the writing sample, I have this Parker Quick Ink. You can't get wrong with the Parker Quick Ink. It is a lubricated ink and quite easy to clean after you use it. I will put this here. Maybe for the writing sample, I will need to change the perspective of the camera. I'm sorry, guys, some of you demand is that I try a different angle to my writing sample. I can't do that. I don't have yet a professional stand, so I am filming this with my smartphone, quite old Samsung Galaxy Note 8, but it does a great job. And the only problem is that I have this angle, so I'm sorry. I will try to zoom more when I do the writing sample, but I can't film it from the top of the desk. I'm sorry, guys, but now I will do the writing sample. So first of all, I will change the angle. Let me see. I've changed the angle. Yes. Okay. So this is it. This I think is perfect. Now, like I told you, so these are FLARO Pioneers, and those two are broken models. Maybe I will use them for parts. And these are the FLARO Pionier 70s. And you can distinguish between them when you look here the flat ending and here the cigar ending. So I promised you that I will do writing samples with all of them, so it will take me a while. But in order for you to have an idea, so with certain models, I will just write some names, and after that, we will leave them alone. If I encounter some special nibs, I will insist on them, and I will certainly insist on that German, the Gusa nib. I'm quite curious to see how it writes. So, guys, let me put those aside here. The 70s here and the originals here. I will start with the simple black one. You can see that it was used in its lifetime. I simply unscrew it. I will definitely need some tissue, and I have here a little piece of tissue. Okay, let me shake a little bit the bottle. Okay, I will leave it unkept on my desk, so I will be extra careful. Now guys, wish me luck, because it is the first time that I will try to use this contraption. Let me see. So I will simply dip it in ink, and oh yes, interesting. So look guys, you are sorry, let me first of all clean it. And now you can see that the ink has been drawn by the pressure on this sac. If you are familiar with the Parker 51 with the aerometric system, it's basically the same principle, but I push this sac with my fingers. The aerometric system has that lever, and if you press on it, it is the same principle, but this is a little bit more simple. You can see that the design of the interior reservoir is meant just for this quantity of ink. So definitely I don't think that you can draw lots of ink using this method, but it does its job, as you can see. And now guys, I will just put the ending. By the way, let me check if we can pose this little beauty. Let's see. Oh, I have a leaking problem. I don't know. I don't think so. I just didn't clean this part. Okay. So, let me see. Yes, it can post, and I think it posts quite securely. And I will leave it posted because it is a small fountain pen. So, definitely, let me see. Oh, nice writer. Flaro, I hope you can see. Let me zoom on it. You want it to see. So this is Flaro Pionier. Pionier. In Romanian, maybe in English, it's pioneer. So this is the first type or generation, the first generation of this beautiful fountain pen. Let me, yes, this is the 41F steel nib from Flaro. Okay, quite a nice. And this example is even gold plated. Gold plated. Let me see. Yes, I think it's quite a juicy nib, as you can see. I don't expect to have lots of line variation. No flex. Let me do the pressure. No pressure here, and here a little bit of pressure. No line variation. Okay, sorry guys, let me show it to you. Let me see how it does. Signature, quite nice. Okay, let me see if we can reverse write it with it. Reverse writing. Definitely scratches, but you can see that we can write with it, but it's scratches. So definitely this wasn't made to reverse write with it. So till now we have a good writer. And I will close it guys because I want to show you the other one. So this was the first one. And for the other one guys, I have here this one. It has the same principle, but I will simply end the same nib. But as a curiosity, I will just dip it in ink. Yes, dip it in ink because it has that ebonite feed. I think it can hold enough ink to do a simple test, and I will do it right over here. So let me give it a zoom. Okay, and here Flaro Pionier. I spoke too soon. I need ink. Yes, I need ink. Pionier. Also number one. And yes, I think it review. Yes, practically the same nib. We don't see lots of line variation or something like that. And the juicy as the other one. But now, guys, I'm quite excited to show you this one, and it has that famous nib that I told you about. I don't know if it's an NOS model because I certainly see some residue of red ink, but I will definitely have to try this wonderful Degussa nib. Let me see now. So bear in mind, guys, I've just FLARO Pionier fitted with the Degussa German nib. I was curious to see if I have some line variation with the Degussa nib. It doesn't seem to have no flex. Let me see now if I have pressure. No, no line variation. Let me see the reverse writing. Definitely scratches. Reverse writing, but it does the job. And why not? Let me tell you about the quick brown fox that jumps over the lazy dog. Quite nice. And if I am here, let me write with the simple steel nib made in Romania. So the same. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Quite nice writers. Okay, let me show you now the other ones, and this is interesting. We have a FLARO, as you can see, FLARO Pionier number one, but fitted with this grip section that was made for the Pionier 70. Just for a curiosity, let me see if I dip this nib. Let me see how it writes. Just here. Yes, no problem. I thought that it was a little bit bent, but it doesn't scratch, so a nice nib. Okay, guys, and now let me show you the other nib on this one. Let me see. Yes, I believe it's also a 41F from FLARO, but why not? Let me just dip it in ink, and I will try to write with it right here for you to see. So FLARO, oh nice. So this it glides. It has a little bit. It is a quite nice nib. So this one glides. Let me, yes, because it's an interesting nib, I have to do the quick brown fox jumps over The lazy dog. Yes, yes. It simply glides, guys. It glides on the paper. Let me see if I can do a reverse right with it. No, this time no ink flows, so definitely no on reverse writing. Okay, let me clean it up and I will put it aside. And now, because we are past the mark of the 30 minutes, right? We will move on to the Pionier 70. We see this nib. Let me put it here. Flaro. Whoa. Nice, nice name, guys. As smooth as this one. So this is a FLARO Pionier 70. Quite nice. So let me see if I have some line variation. No. But it feels quite nice. No flex. Let me see. So this without pressure. And this a little bit of pressure. Yes, we have a little line variation. Interesting, interesting. Let me zoom on it. Let me see if the tiles, yes, the tiles spread a little bit when you push it. Quite nice model. So definitely a nice change in the nib. It allows it to write quite nice. Let me see this one. So let me see. Flaro. Definitely another feeling to it. Nice one. I sincerely, guys, I prefer the names on the Pionier 70. Another other oddity. So you can see a Pionier 70 fitted with a simple grip section, and this time we have another Degussa nib. Let me show it, guys, to you. So I have to zoom on it. Yes, another Degussa nib. You can see that logo. I'm quite excited, and for this one you will see that I never ink them all. I will ink also this one. So the pushing this, okay, and we have ink, you see. Okay, I will put this here. Sorry about using the okay term. Where is the and the oh, I lost the, oh no, it is here. I thought I lost the plastic barrel. Okay, guys, this time I have for you also a Flaro. So let me see. Flaro, nice. Pionier 70. Another Degussa nib. Degussa nib. I got to tell you guys, I'm not so impressed about these Degussa nibs. Yes, definitely made in Germans, but I was expecting a little bit of more of a flex, like the nibs made in the 1950s. So, guys, this was my review of a quite interesting fountain pen. Another small fountain pen made by Flaro for school children in the 1970s or in the 1980s. I'm quite proud to have so many of them in my collection, so many variations. You don't see them often for sale, even in the internal Romanian market. So I believe that in 10 years or 20 years, this will be rare pieces. And one of the fact it is their not so quite limited production, but the fact that they were intended for school children and they were made out of cheap, let's say, parts, and not many of them have survived to our times. So It is a treat for me to have them in so many combinations, so many colors, and so many nib types. Guys, I thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this little madness with all of them being reviewed, all of them. I've showed them all of the right and samples of all of them. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. I will see you again at the next episode with interesting new and old vintage fountain pens. I want to wish you to have a nice day wherever you are. I will thank you for your time. Please take care of yourself in this pandemic time. Bye bye.